Hey, welcome back to the Bound by Art podcast. I'm Missi Blue, tattoo artist, business owner, and your guide to navigating the chaos that is the tattoo industry. If you're an artist looking to grow your business, attract the right clients, and learn how to survive this career without losing your damn mind, then you are in the right place. Every week, I'll be bringing real talk, actionable tips, and hard-earned lessons from my own journey with a side of good vibes and a little bit of sarcasm. Whether you're new to the game, feeling stuck, or you just need a kick in the ass to get that spark back again, this is the show for you. Welcome to Bound by Art. Now let's get to work. Today we're diving into something every artist, creator, and creative thinker has faced at some point. The dreaded artistic slump. You know the feeling. Nothing flows, inspiration is nowhere to be found, and you start questioning everything, your skills, your career, maybe even your life choices. Fun times, right? But here's the deal. This isn't a sign that you've lost your talent. It's not proof that you should pack it up and move on. It's just part of the cycle of creativity, and more importantly, it's something that you can work through. In this episode, I'm sharing insights on why it happens, how to recognize when you're stuck, and most importantly, what you can do to snap yourself out of it. Let's get into it. It happens to the best of us, all artists, all creators. We all struggle with the same thing, feeling uninspired and motivated, especially when it's your job. Because now, regardless of how you feel, regardless of how uninspired you are, you still have to show up and do the thing that you're being paid to do. And all I can hear in the back of my mind is all the people that said, don't do it for a living, keep it a hobby, it's just going to become another job. And while I will never admit this to any of them out loud, the thought has crossed my mind that maybe I killed my creative spirit by making this my career. But it's not always like this. It's just sometimes. But man, when it hits you, it feels like an eternity. And it feels like it's never going to end, right? I start to wonder, is this it? Did I run out of ideas? Have I lost my artistic edge? Have I just lost the ability to create altogether? And as many times as I've been through the ups and downs, I still only feel partially confident that it's going to pass. Past experience would tell me that it always comes back. I'm just going through something and there's this tiny doubtful part of me just yelling for me to just hang it up. It's over. It's time to go get your job back at Pizza Hut. But come on, we all know that tiny, hateful Missi is full of shit and none of this is based in facts. And I just need a reset. Falling into an artistic slump is usually the first sign of danger for me. This is my brain just screaming out for me to pay attention that something's wrong. And this is a clear sign for me to take a break. I have nothing left to give. And on top of that, I'm trying too hard and I'm trying to force it. It has to be one of the worst feelings to me when I feel like I can't draw and I can't create and I don't have any ideas. For someone like me that typically has a steady stream of new ideas, it just feels really, really empty. After all these years of being an artist, I know that this is my cue to take a step back and take a break and figure this out before I self-destruct. Because yes, I've seen that path as well, and I am not interested in ever visiting that again. In case you're not super in tune with what this feels like, here's some telltale signs that you're in an artistic slump. You might be procrastinating. Are you finding yourself not excited about your upcoming projects? You're maybe even dreading them. So you put them off. Maybe tomorrow you'll be inspired or you'll have a better idea tomorrow. But tomorrow comes and you still have nothing. So you put it off again and again and your deadline arrives. And now you're scrambling to get it done. And then you're probably half-assing the project and you can't even feel proud of it afterwards because you know that you didn't put in 100% effort. You might also be just avoiding things. Have you been avoiding situations that might challenge you? Maybe you're passing on projects that might have been super exciting for you in the past, but now because you're probably going to have to put in a lot of extra effort to get it done, you're not interested in it. The idea of it is completely daunting and you don't even have the energy to think about it. Maybe you're trying and really attempting to create anyway, and it's just not working. You can't get it right. You probably walked away several times and came back to it, and you're just thinking, I can't fucking draw. I guess I should just quit. I can't do this. I've been there so many times. Have you stopped to ask yourself why you're feeling this way? There's a good chance this isn't happening for no reason at all. There's something going on here, and this feeling is your body's way of trying to alert you. Just don't ignore it, don't numb it. Take the time, analyze it, and figure out what's going on. The goal is to get back to being able to create. So, what are some things that we can do to try and find the inspiration again? Something that I just recently have been thinking about is what I used to do when I was a kid. So, thinking back to your child self, what are the things that you love doing, the ways that you love to create, and the things that you did every single day without a thought that you just got so much enjoyment out of? And what is something that this child version of yourself would be so bummed to hear that you don't do anymore? If I told myself, my child self, that I don't paint anymore, I would be so confused and upset by that. Or I don't color anymore, which I don't. When was the last time I picked up a coloring book and fucking colored with crayons? And I did that. That was a thing that I did every single day as a kid. And I think that if I told my, 8-year-old self that, I would be like, what are you talking about? That's not true. There's no way that's not true. So just thinking back to these things that you created without any effort as a child, and go out and play with children. So you might not have your own kids. Maybe you have nieces and nephews or a friend that has a young kid. And if this part is your personal nightmare, I get it, because I used to really dislike kids before I had mine. But I think that you're missing a really great opportunity to just kind of witness the innocence and just like the pure creation for self by watching kids be kids. Go out, play with them, color with them, play their, imaginary like games with their dolls and stuff. Like they're always creating, they're always doing stuff, and you just don't even notice it because you're just like, kids, But they are just so creative, and they're not even trying, and they're not even doing it for any kind of result. They're just doing it for the enjoyment of doing it. And that's the thing that's missing right now. And that's the thing that's keeping you uninspired, because you're making it work and you're trying really hard to make something instead of just making something to make it. Does that make sense? So go out and be a child. A thing that I used to do as a kid that I literally just yesterday was thinking about this, because it was a really, I mean, maybe because I was a poor kid and we didn't have like fun stuff to do. We just had to go outside and play all the time. And, me and my friends, we would lay in the grass and we would look at the clouds and we would talk about what the clouds look like. And that's so silly and stupid and simple, but what a creative thing to do, and just make pictures out of things that are not pictures in your mind. And then we would argue like, no, that's not, it looks like a car. No, it looks like a horse or whatever, and it's just a thing that I used to do that was just so innocently creative. I used to also look at ants, which I can't believe I'm about to tell the story. So I grew up in Florida. There's fire ants everywhere. So I used to just look at these ants and watch them like build their little mounds and like carry food back and forth and, take the magnifying glass and melt the ants or whatever. And then there's these things called ant lions, which, if you don't know what an antlion, I mean, I don't even know how to describe an antlion. I don't think I ever actually saw one. I just saw their things that they make. They're these little funnels, and they're designed for like if the ant falls into the funnel, they fall down. They can't climb up the sides. The sides start to fall in, and they fall down to their death in the middle. So I would just watch these ant lions. I'd like drop little ants in their funnels and watch the ants, scramble for their lives and then die. Wow, that's really dark. It's getting really dark here, guys. Sorry. But I would sit there and like fuck with their like funnel with a piece of grass or something. And then I would sit and watch this antlion make a new one. And this is how bored I was as a child. Kids these days won't know what it's like. But I spend a lot of time outside in nature and, drawing in the sand, lots of sand in Florida. So, I would draw little things in the sand and take water and like make these like crazy pictures and stuff. And I actually still do this when I go on vacation or something. Like if I go to the beach, I am that adult that's making a sandcastle and I'm collecting shells to make some weird design with the shells or like, lining up rocks to make different things, the leaves or whatever. This is something that I do everywhere I go. But only when I have the time and like the mental space for stuff like that. I'm not doing that on a daily. Like I don't walk outside in the morning and pick up sticks and make a picture with them, but it is a really nice reset and it's like a relaxing way to create that has no result, or I mean it has a result but not a result that people are going to see. So I know that if I build this sandcastle, the waves are going to come in and knock it down and it's going to be gone and no one in the world is going to know that I created it, and it doesn't matter, and I did it for just the enjoyment and just like in the moment pure enjoyment of creating something. And that is something that I think we don't do often enough. We're always looking for that end result and never for the moment, the enjoyment in the moment. Another way that you can get some inspiration is to just find new ways of being creative. So think of something that's so far outside of your normal way of creating that it feels completely foreign to you, and you might even have to take a class and learn it or read about it. If you're a visual artist, try something that's audible, like singing or playing an instrument, which I say that so casually, like it's easy to just pick up an instrument and play it, but you could learn how to play something simple. A ukulele, super easy to learn how to play. It's only got 4 strings. And I am not very good at guitar or ukulele, but I play them both, and it is a way for me to be creative in a realm that's outside of my norm. And I think that it really helps me stay inspired by doing that. If you're sitting in a chair all day, try dancing and taking a dance class, or blast some music and just dance around your living room like an idiot when no one's looking. If you're really shy about dancing, like do it by yourself. Who gives a fuck, right? I just downloaded this app. Oh God, I can't think of what it's called, but I got it for my husband and I for Christmas. It's like a learn how to dance app for couples. And it's actually really cool. It wasn't expensive, and it's fun to just like learn how to dance, with your partner in the living room. Like no one else is watching. And it's just a way to get moving and be creative. You could try writing, write a story, write a poem. I really surprisingly enjoy writing. I think I used to write a lot when I was younger and didn't, so at somewhere along the way, I just kind of lost it and stopped doing it so much. But since I've been like writing blogs and writing content for podcasts and things like that, I really kind of enjoy writing. So that's something I've been doing. Poems, not really my thing, but if I felt like I needed a reset, I wouldn't completely discount it. I might give it a try, but these are things that might help you if you're a tattoo artist or a photographer or something, and you're feeling stuck and you need some new ideas. Like try writing a story. It might suck. Who gives a fuck? Just do it to get the creative juices flowing, as they say. Get around other people who create also, not just people in your industry specifically, but watching someone else create is super contagious. And it's really awesome to just see how someone else works through their like artistic problem in the moment. I went to this seminar for tattoo artists where they had this collaboration painting going on. And it was really cool just to sit back and watch everyone put in their like 2 cents on the painting. So you could just periodically walk up and start adding to the painting. And it was cool. Everybody just kind of standing back and looking at the painting and thinking and just in deep thought. And you see them go up there and like add something to it. And it was just really like not even being involved in it, just witnessing it was super cool. You can take a pottery class. Like, I don't know. I really like sculpting with clay. It's an event that we do a lot with Bound by Art. And I really enjoy sculpting, and I am really bad at it. And I almost never finish anything, and like nothing ever comes from it. But just sitting there with a piece of clay and like molding it and sculpting it is really cool. I think that a pottery class could be fun. You can make your like bowls and stuff. I don't know. It looks cool. I've never done it though. You can check out a local art gallery or museum. I I say this, but I went to, and maybe this was inspiration, but I went to an art gallery for the first time. I know that sounds crazy, but I'd never been to one before. So I went to the one in Baltimore a couple of years ago. My friend took me. She's like, "You gotta go. You've never been to an art gallery. That's crazy. We're gonna go." So we went, and the whole time I was like, I don't know if I like art. I feel like I'm not I don't think I like art. I looked at these things, and I mean, maybe some people are going to hate me for saying this out there, but my friends draw better than these, than these paintings. I don't know. Like, I'm looking at stuff like, this is a famous painting. Like, this person is famous for doing this. I think this is trash and I hate it, but I don't know. That's just me. But, you know, maybe didn't inspire me to like go out and create this type of thing, or like, oh, that's amazing, I'm going to do something like that, or it's giving me ideas. It's giving me like, I don't know, I don't want to do that. Like, it's giving me ideas of what not to do, and that's okay too, you know, like that's also a form of inspiration, at least in my opinion. You can check out local craft shows as well too, because there's always people like local crafters that are out there making stuff that's super cool. And you might see something that might spark an idea for you or get you thinking outside of the box. Getting out in nature, like I was saying before, same seminar that I went to from Victor Portugal. He was talking about going out in nature and getting his inspiration from nature, which I feel like I do. Like, I go out a lot. I go hiking. It's pretty normal for me. But he takes his camera, his fancy camera. He goes out there and he's taking pictures of like the textures on trees and roots and, you know, different leaves and things. And he's really like looking in nature for things, and not taking his phone. He has like an actual like fancy camera. So he's, you know, disconnecting. He's not out in the woods like on his phone on social media and stuff, but just really looking for the pretty things and the cool inspirational things in nature, and then getting pictures of them, which he then uses for reference for later. But I just thought that was really cool, because I do that to a point, or if I see something really neat, like a tree that's like real crooked and weird, or like some mushrooms that I really like, thought that were cute, I might take a picture, but I don't pay that much attention. I feel like I'm more lost in my headphones listening to music and just yeah, like miss the point of being in nature. So maybe unplug, you know, get rid of the music, get rid of the phone, and just go out there and experience it. Go to the beach, go camping for the weekend, and just like observe nature, observe animals in the wild, and, you know, just whatever you can, just take it all in. Get out in your town or your state. So I just listened to this podcast from Mel Robbins, who was talking about her never been there, never done that list, which I thought was really cool, because she's so right. She's talking about living in this town where she's been for however many years, and she doesn't go do anything. She doesn't see anything. She, like, someone comes to visit her and she doesn't even know where to tell them to go, like cool places to go, cool things to do, because she's just so in her routine, and she's never even explored her own area. So looking at your hometown through the lens of a tourist, and what would you tell your friends that are visiting to do, and where have you never been that you might pass every single day? Where have you been meaning to go that you just never got around to going? Just getting out of your routine, getting out of that same, like, I stop at this gas station, I take this route to work, and we eat here for dinner, and that, like, that's it. I know you guys are out there. I know that people like this exist. I'm not the only one, but we're just like creatures of habit, and we never take the time to see what else is out there. Me personally, especially when it comes to restaurants, I really don't like change. I really don't like to try new things, but if you never try the new things, how do you know what you like, right? So get outside of your boring box and do something different. including hanging out with different people. So if you talk to the same people every single day and you hang out with them every single day, probably your coworkers, or on the weekends, like it's the same one or two friends that you're always doing stuff with, try hanging out with new friends. Try some different scenery. Go to a new place with new people and do a new thing. Try rock climbing if you've never tried it before. Go bowling if you haven't gone since you were a kid. Like, go roller skating. Just do something different. Go shopping at a different store that you've never been in. There's so many little like mom and pop stores, especially in my town, right literally on the same block, and I've never been in there. There's a new skate and surf shop 3 doors down from me that I was like, oh, I'm going to check that place out. Guess what? It's been 2 months now and I haven't. So guess what I'm doing after this today? I'm going to go over there and see if they'll wax my board. But that's the point, is like, we are meaning to do these things and we're like, yeah, I'm going to get around to it. But, actually get around to it, actually go out and do there. And you might get some inspiration from it. You might get a nice reset that has you thinking differently or has you seeing things differently. Try rearranging your space, redecorate your room or reorganize things, paint your walls a different color, maybe get a new desk or buy new curtains or hang some different art on your walls and, just move things around, change things around a little bit, get a little different perspective on things. It could be enough to just reignite some kind of spark or some inspiration for you. And it might help you get through this funk that you're in. There's a really good possibility that you are just being overloaded by outside influences in your industry. And you might think it's helping you with ideas, but I promise you it's not. Stop looking at social media. Take a break for the weekend or a whole week if you can manage it. But looking at what everyone else is doing is only going to cause you to do what everyone else is doing. You're not going to be doing your thing. You're not going to be doing what you're meant to be doing. And you're not going to find that inspiration in that way. You're just going to be regurgitating stuff everyone else is doing. So stop worrying about what they're doing. It doesn't matter what or how they're doing things. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if they're doing it differently or if you're doing the same thing that they're doing. Just do you and don't worry about them. You might just be creatively fatigued and you're just trying too hard. Don't burn yourself out, always trying to create the new thing. Lean into what you're already doing and stop chasing that next new thing. There's always room for improvement on what you're doing. And if you are constantly switching gears and, you're working on, let's say you're working on pet portraits. I'll make myself the example here. So you're focused on pet portraits and then, I want to work on, neo-traditional lady faces over here. And then your focus is back on the lady faces. And, I want to work on, more traditional, like bubblegum traditional stuff. So I'm going to do these like cutesy drawings over here. And you're bouncing around to all these different things when if you would have just looked at your pet portraits from the beginning and been like these, I'm really happy with these, but what if I switched it up and added this? Or what if I did this other style with them or started adding this element to it and start getting creative in the thing that you're already doing instead of trying to completely rewrite history here and do something completely different. There's always room for 10% improvement. Just keep pushing what you're doing and you won't burn yourself out always changing. This is just a list of things that I came up with to kind of get myself out of a funk. And I keep all of these things in mind whenever I'm starting to feel like I can't do this, I can't draw, I should just hang this up. I pull out my list and I'm like, okay, what could I be doing? What haven't I been doing? And how can I switch things up to try and get myself out of this? Come up with your own list and notice the times when you're most inspired. What's happening in your life? How do you feel? What are you doing? And who are you doing it with? What's different about this moment? If you can really start paying attention to when you're getting inspired, you can come back and recreate that. So I know personally, when I go to seminars or I get around these big events where it's a bunch of creative people all trying to learn something new, that is when I am most inspired. I get really inspired from conventions also, which is why I continue to do them, even though they're so stressful and I feel like a crazy person the entire weekend. But I come back from them and I'm like, man, like I have so many ideas and I'm going to do this and do that. And it just gets me really pumped. So that is something that I always keep in mind. And whenever I start to feel like funky and like, I can't fucking draw, like, I don't know what's going on, I'm like, okay, let me pull out my list. Let me see what's inspiring me. Like, oh, I felt really inspired when I went to the beach that one day. I'm going to make a trip to the beach. Like, I'm going to go to the beach this weekend. Not this weekend because it's like fucking 16 degrees out, but you know what I'm saying? So maybe I'm going to go for a hike in the snow because last year when I did that, I came back and had this, amazing week of super creative, drawings or paintings that I did. Whatever it is, make this list, keep it in mind, and then you can come back to it when you need to in those moments. And just know that it's going to end. It's just a cycle and it always comes back around. Even though it feels like forever, it's not. Just keep your head up and don't quit. All right, guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to make some moves today. Remember, it's all about showing up, putting in the work, and staying true to yourself. If you got something out of today's episode, share it with a friend who might need to hear it, and make sure to subscribe so we can keep this momentum going. Get updates on all of our latest episodes, events, and more by following us on social media at Bound by Art Project and by heading over to the website boundbyart.com. Thanks for hanging out and putting up with my shit. I'll see you next time. Now shut up, quit making excuses, and go get better.